Hello everyone, welcome to the Whistling Hermit's One Card Spread series. This video series is primarily intended for learning how to read the tarot. However, you can also use this as a card reading for the day. This is a timeless reading, so if you are watching this now, its message might be for you. For this series, we will be using the giant Rider Waite Tarot deck from the US Games Systems Incorporated. We will also be using the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM Urania. The first part of the video will be a descriptive study of a specific card in the tarot. We will describe what we see and the insights and feelings we gather from what we see. The first part is characterized by spontaneity. We allow the cards to speak to us regardless of the generally accepted meaning of the card. By doing this, we hope to increase our intuitive capacity for reading the tarot cards. In the second part, we will be reading the description of the card taken from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. If you intend to use this as a timeless reading, you can randomly choose any card in the series that resonates with you. An alternative approach is to shuffle a Rider Waite card deck and pick a card randomly. You can then choose the card in the video series that corresponds to the card you picked. Note that this series is a work in progress, and it might take some time for the 78 cards to be completely read. If you want to navigate directly to a certain part of the video, such as Part 1 or Part 2, I have provided timestamps in the description accompanying this video. Just click on the link to the video segment you wish to go. So, without any further delay, let us proceed to the card for the day. Well, we are now in part 1 of the one card spread series, and the card for today is the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is related to the Major Arcana card, which is number 4 also, the Emperor. Okay, so when you try to look at it, the Four of Wands is one of those ones that are celebratory, no? Here, when you look at it, there are 4 poles, and on top of the pole are a lot of flowers, and I'm not sure if there are fruits, but it's like a combination of flower, fruits, and it's like these are the fruits of the earth, something like that, and they place it on top of the poles, forming like a canopy. And then when you look at it, we try to see how is it related to this one. Well, in a certain sense, there is a contrast. Here, there is not even any sign of vegetation or anything. It's a little bit stark, but there might be a certain relationship in a sense that the 4 this thing is sort of like a result of the effort of a person who leads, a person who is visionary, a person who is very, very good in creating things. Because when you see, there is a sort of like a castle behind these four poles. So it could be that inside the castle of this emperor, it might be a little bit austere, but outside is the result of the wisdom and the productivity of this emperor. People are celebrating outside. It's the result of the efforts and vision and the way he manages everything. The result is abundance for the people around him. It can be something like that. Now, if you look at the card previously, the Three of Wands, when you see here, and you compare it to the other previous card, it's like a story unfolding, no? You see, in the Two of Wands, this is a very successful ruler who set out on an adventure, and he started creating new things. He started with one wand that he brought with him, and sooner or later they started to grow, and he was looking away, no? In the previous one, I looked at it, I felt at that time that this is a barren land. For some, they say that this is a sea and these are ships, no? But for me, I felt it's a barren land, that this person was being challenged to create some more. Sometimes it's like that, no? When it comes to intuition, other people might look at things a different way, and you feel the opposite way. If that happens, follow your intuition, because when you read things, you are reading for a specific person, for a specific situation, and so you just follow what the card tells you. Okay, so when you look at it here now, it's like a progression of the story. He left everything and then he went to a certain place, which is very different. He was a little bit austere, and there were developments. It seems like the card number 4 was the result of this one, because here it's only 3 wands, now it is 4, and the 4 wands is like a stable, when a situation that is more stable than this previous one. It seems that these 3 promising wands have finally bore fruit, and there was a 4th one now, and it's like when you look at it, this appearance can be similar to a table, a rectangular table with 4 legs. A rectangular table with 4 legs is more stable than a rectangular table with only 3 legs. So now, when you look at the 4 ones, they somehow also symbolize stability. And the result of stability is that there are a lot already of fruits and flowers on the table. And when you look at these 2 people, they are dancing, with flowers also. And there seems to be other people celebrating in front of a big castle. Here, it's like a stark wasteland. When you look at it, there is already a castle developed. So you see the efforts of this one, the efforts of this emperor seem to have already starting to bear fruit. And it's gradually developing, from 1 to 3 to 4, and now there is already a castle. People are celebrating. There are now a lot of there are now vegetation starting to develop everything, and so this guy, the visionary, is finally slowly enjoying the fruits of his labor. He is slowly creating this, what previously looked like a barren wasteland, into something similar to the area that he left behind before. And when you look at it, He was standing at the castle. Now the castle is there. Aside from the castle, there is also some stable platform here. So now there are signs already of stability. And when you look at it now, this one, yellow sky, which is sunny, promising. The sky remains yellow and promising also. Here, it's a little gray because maybe at that time he was about to leave. So there's a bit of sorrow of leaving behind all the comforts and everything. It could be here also. Here he was alone. Here, everybody's celebrating. So it could be that finally he is joined already by his family and people are beginning to celebrate. When you look at it, they seem to be dancing also or just beginning to dance. So there is a big celebration here. And when you look at it already, look, I don't know if this is a bridge. Here we mentioned something of a bridge. So it could be that this person loves to have bridges, no? There's a bridge there and there's a bridge over here. So he is slowly rebuilding a second version of this wonderful thing that he started, no? So for those who are reading here right now and trying to look at it, it seems that the fruits of your labor are finally coming. You have a promising present and future before you. There's a promise of stability, promise of celebration and fecundity, and a promise of security with this big castle. When you look at it, no, it's not just one castle. I think these ones that are in the distance are houses also, no? I mean, if it is still part of the castle, then it's so very, very big, a really, really very big castle. So it must have created anything. But it can be also that this is a sort of like a cliff and there are already houses over there. So there seems to be a big development and a big celebration for this person. So this is a very nice card. This is card number 4, a card of celebration, no? In the 4 of Cups, there was a person who is a little bit low, no, a little bit guarded, no. In the card number 4 of the Wands, it's a card of celebration. Okay, even the card number 2 of the 4 of Swords, no. I mean the 4 of Swords also is a little bit. There is a little bit. Contemplation, a little austere also, that one. It so far, this is the contrast of the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is less austere and more celebratory, no? It has also the influence also of like the influence of the presence of the Empress. So it could be that that finally the Emperor is again accompanied by the Empress, and the Empress is taking care of the place, and there are already plants around. So they say that card number 4 is also a card of related to marriage, no? And when you look at it, yeah, it's like a marriage, no, where the marriage celebration is held here. So it can be like that. It can be a celebration of reunion of the Emperor and the Empress. If before the life of the Emperor was so austere, there are no, the presence of nature is a little bit less. While in the Empress, there is the presence of abundance of creation, no? And fecundity. So this card could indirectly show that the Emperor is reunited already with an Empress. There's already an Empress in his life. So if you are also reading this card, there could be a promise of being united with someone, a woman or a person with a feminine energy, no? And you with a masculine energy. There seems to be a union of these two energies, and there is a big celebration right now. And it is true. because the masculine energy, as we previously saw in the other cards, there are less vegetations, less of nature. In this area, there is stability and there is fecundity. There is abundance. So there seems to be the combined presence of the masculine and the feminine. So it can also suggest that at this present time there is a presence of love. So if you are reading this card, there's also a possibility that you have found someone at this present time, and it seems to be a promising, stable relationship with this someone. So this card can also be a symbol of a beginning relationship. I just noticed, no, there's another one here. So is this a house or part of this big castle? If this is part of the castle, it must really be a very big castle. Or it could be a castle here, and then there are houses there. So it seems that there is already a celebration here. So this can be just a celebration or a fiesta or a celebration of victory. It can also be a celebration of marriage, and it can be also a reunion of a person who have developed a place, and now he's able to bring his beloved and his loved ones, if he has already children. It's like a reunion also with the family, or you finally found someone and there is a promise of a wedding in the near future for some of you. Or it could be that you just got married right now, and the atmosphere in your life is a celebration. So there is a promise also here, no? So in an indirect sense, no, when you look at this one, this seems like like there is a marriage. But at the same time also, when you look at it in an indirect way, in the presence of the emperor, there is less vegetation. But in the presence of the empress, there is a lot of vegetation. So when you look at this one, there is the structure and the vegetation. So there seems to be either the reuniting of the male and female energy, or the male energy finally found his empress, and the empress and the male are beginning to celebrate their life together. Okay, that's it for now. If it resonates with you, then this message is for you. And I hope that for those who want to learn more about the tarot, as you see, no, it's different. What they sometimes officially say, sometimes the interpretation might be different. If your interpretation is different and that is what you feel strongly, follow what you feel and what you hear, because it might be what is needed in the situation. The important thing is, each time you read the tarot, you let the card speak to you at that moment. Okay, let us now go to part 2 of the Four of Wands. Okay, we are now in part 2 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the Four of Wands. We will now read from the booklet of Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM Urania. The Four of Wands. Divinatory meanings, warning, advice, and action. Four of Wands. In the movement of the Wands suit, the middle cards 4, 5, and 6 show a dramatic change from the rest, while 1 to 3 and card 7 to 10 show a single figure. The middle 3 brings in community. They also are probably the most positive, as if one's energy, so individualistic and heroic in a crisis, actually finds its greatest fulfillment when it overcomes its tendency to act alone and impulsively, or to take on solitary burdens. While 5 and 6 contains their own virtues, 4 is the happiest seen in the suit. In the other suits, the 3 tends to show a kind of early optimism, but here it's the 4. We see a celebration, 2 figures in the front holding up flowers, while behind them people dance or move in procession. Because the bower resembles a wedding canopy found in some traditions, many see this card as a hint of marriage. In fact, it matters less what they celebrate than the fact they do it as a group. Divinatory meanings: celebration, community, joy, break from struggle. Warning, advice. Traditionally, the meanings remain the same. Action: celebrate, especially with family and community. Well, that's it for today. Thank you, and I hope that some of the messages in this video have resonated with those who are hoping to find something from it. And for those who are trying to learn how to read the tarot, I hope that this has been a good exercise of your intuition. Until next time, have a great day.